I get worried when Steven starts sniffing his mics.
I'm Stargate Pioneer.
I'm Haley.
And I'm Lauren from Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
a podcast member of the GonnaGeek network, just like the one you're listening to now.
The opinions expressed are those of each individual. Check out all the other podcasts
at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready because geekiness begins in 3,
2,
1.
This is it. The part of your week where you get to put your headphones on, relax, and listen to a bunch of geeks geek out about geeky things. They're passionate.
I'm an IT guy. You should never delete. Most of the time you delete, you regret deleting.
They rage.
You guys are being like hypersensitive with your point to be offended. Oh, he deleted his Twitter account. Oh, I'm mad. What?
And sometimes they're even funny.
Tell your wife that I said hello again and so I can be there tonight.
That's okay. Your wife says hi too.
Let me emphasize that. Sometimes. Welcome to the GonnaGeek.com podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 111 of the GonnaGeek.com podcast. We are here today with the whole crew again. That's right. Everybody decided to take a week off last week. It was Chris's idea.
It's
Chris's fault. But no, we are back today with the whole crew. And those of you live listeners who are listening at GonnaGeek.com/live, first off, thank you very much for listening. We do appreciate that. Secondly, I apologize for the delay. And sorry that you can't find us on Alpha Geek Radio this week. We are not broadcasting there because we ran into some issues at the start. It began with SP having to do updates. And then quickly, I realized that going to Windows 10 was a mistake and a half. So I quickly had to throw in my clone drive and get it all set up. But
let me be clear. Okay. This was not SP going to Windows 10. This was the man above me going to Windows 10.
That's true. They were isolated incidents. But what ended up happening was we have determined that the software that we use, XSplit, apparently has some driver issues with Windows 10. It could be maybe a bad Windows 10 driver. Whole bunch of other things I'll have to try. But this is why I did my due diligence and I cloned my drive before I upgraded to Windows 10. And I cloned it to another SSD. So it was a matter of swapping out drives and off to the races. Unfortunately, usually I take about 20 to 25 minutes to set up the broadcast every day. So I had to do that all over. But thank you for your patience, live listener.
My patience is gone. Let's get going with the podcast.
All right. So it has been about a week since we were around, and I want to encourage everybody to make sure that you do go to GonnaGeek.com. We have a variety of podcasts on the podcast network. As you may or may not know, many of them are to do with geeky TV shows. So I encourage you to keep your eyes on the prize being the GonnaGeek site, because those are about to all get fired up again, whether it's Arrow or The Flash or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or everything else in between. We have a variety of geeky podcasts available there. So please do check it out. Let's go ahead and move into the news. Shall we do that?
Absolutely.
All righty. All right, news. Let's go ahead and start it off with the rocket scientist himself, Chris Farrell. Go ahead, Chris.
I'm a rocket scientist, guys. Actually, my news is really simple, and it's that I'm moving to the UK sometime before December. And why, you might be asking? It's because the UK gets Star Wars Episode 7 one day earlier than we do in the United States, and I will not abide getting spoiled. So in order to avoid spoilers, I'm moving to the UK.
Yeah, let's go, man. I like it. I like it a lot. That's a
Dude,
great idea.
I don't want to be spoiled at all. And if this is what it takes, I'm going back to England. Bye, guys.
Did you guys? Here's one spoil that I have to bring up because I saw it on the internet. What's her name's podcast? You know, not podcast, but the pod race. Her land speeder. What the girl there?
Right.
It's part of a pod racer. Look at one of the pod racers in in episode 1, it's one of the pod racers.
It could be inspired by that. I'm not sure. I saw the die-cast metal version of it on Force Friday, but I didn't pay much attention.
So if you look, it's the one you stick two together end to end. It's the one that had it had two of them. It made an X.
Oh, Sebulba's?
Yes, it was Sebulba's. So if you look at Sebulba's,
why would that be on Tatooine? I mean, on Jakku though, instead of Tatooine?
Because somebody messed up. I think that's the big point here. Is that somebody messed up with the?
I think somebody
no.
I think somebody kit bashed.
If you race Formula One or Indy cars or NASCAR, you got to transport those puppies from place to place, right? There's no reason in a galactic environment where you can't transport pod racers from planet to planet. I think it's all fine.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I just think it's they were so kit bashing was part of the original like the original Star Wars. That's how they did the models. They weren't 3D rendered and stuff like that. So I'm sure it's 3D rendered, but my say is it's a kit bash, just like the old days. They kit bashed the pod racer.
For those of us not familiar with that, what is kit bash?
So kit bashing is taking a model kit and destroying it and taking the components to make another kit.
I thought you meant Knight Industries 2000 bashing.
No.
Did you just make like a Hasselhoff TV show reference? Is that what you
totally
just did there?
made
Don't
Knight
hassle
Rider,
the Hoff.
Absolutely.
I was trying to think what it was called, but
Don't hassle the Hoff.
Knight Rider.
Come on and jump in my car. Sorry.
Have you seen his music video from
Kung Fury?
What was Kung Fury?
Yes.
No, I didn't. I didn't see it.
It's fairly epic.
What makes it epic? What makes it epic?
It's Hasselhoff singing an 80s power rock ballad.
There's some bad Hasselhoff music videos out there. I find it hard to believe that he's taken it a step further.
He's very popular in Germany. Eh?
Super popular. He's very popular in Europe.
And you can't say Hasselhoff. It's the Hoff. Come on, guys. Get into it. It's the Hoff.
The Hoff.
I don't buy into this marketing.
I want a cup of hot Hoffy right now.
No. Bad, Steven.
Oh, I know. So bad.
Bad.
Speaking of bad, SP, what do you got going on for your news this week?
Well, you kind of mentioned before. There's a ton of TV shows about to start up, and we do have podcasts on a variety of different shows. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. So what I have done is on my Facebook, like when we weren't podcasting last week, because Steven, you had better stuff to do than this podcast. So what I did is I took the time and prepared for this week, and I put together a list of all of the premiere dates of the upcoming geeky related shows. And this is not a comprehensive list of all shows, but it started last weekend in Canada with Continuum. It started its fourth and final season last Friday. Now the United States is a week behind. So Friday, September 11th is going to be the first episode of the Continuum final season.
Oh, final season.
If you watched the third season and watched how it ended, it was one of those shows that you had to have something. Otherwise, it was a big cliffhanger into nothing like Alpha Season 2 did. So I'm very grateful that they did give 6 episodes. I am invested in the show. I think it's a great show. I know there's other people have other opinions about it, but I thought it was a great show from when it came out, and I've been enjoying watching it.
Yeah, the concept is pretty cool. I liked it a lot. It was sci-fi that you could watch with your girlfriend who does not like sci-fi.
Yep. And another show you can watch with your girlfriend is Doctor Who, which Series 9 premieres September 19th. So there you go.
Statistically speaking, your girlfriend won't like it.
Are you going to tell us the doctor's name? You keep saying Doctor Who. You said that for like 111 episodes.
Peter Capaldi plays the character.
It was a bad joke, SP.
Doctor Who.
It was a bad joke.
Are you trying to do Abbott and Costello on us?
No,
he doesn't have a name. He doesn't have.
There's no Doctor What. There's no how, whatever. So yes, Doctor Who. It premieres on September 19th. And if you're interested in Doctor Who, go listen to Gallifrey Public Radio. That is the Doctor Who podcast on the GonnaGeek network. And then also a lot of people
I want to pause here for a second, interrupt you for a minute, because I know we do have Doctor Who, Gallifrey Public Radio on the network, but I always find that Doctor Who is one that that there are a lot of geeks who like it and appreciate it and everything, but there's also some that just can't get into it. And then there's others who watch Doctor Who, but they don't get all gung-ho about the return. So I'm really curious what the listener thinks about this. Is it something that you are excited for Doctor Who, or is it something that you're just like lukewarm on it? And if so, what's your reason? I would love you to tell us how and why you have your opinion on Doctor Who. So give us a call at 567-343-GEEK. That's 567-343-4335, and tell us about that, because over the years, Doctor Who has just been one that's really, really been intriguing to me about the reactions that we get about it. So that's all. I just wanted to put that out to listeners. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, SB. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. I got a whole backstory on it. We really don't have time right now, but I do about how it's been treated here in the United States, the new rebirth. So we'll have to go over that at some point in time. But the next show, a lot of people have been into it for a while. Big Bang Theory comes back for season 9 on September 21st. So a lot of people are like that, but as long as it ends better than How I Met Your Mother, I'll be okay.
Is it the last season?
No,
it's going to go on forever. They make money.
Last year they all signed 3-year contracts. Yeah. So after this one, they have another one to do as well. Yeah. So Scorpion, also on CBS, like Big Bang Theory is on CBS. Scorpion also starts its second season on September 21st. It's kind of it's a watered down popcorn geek show where a bunch of geniuses solve crimes or whatever. It's not realistic whatsoever, but if you're into that genre,
there's a crime drama on CBS. Who would have thought there'd be a crime procedural on CBS?
Let's analyze that though for a minute, right? The one that started it all, CSI, is now canceled, and we have Scorpion. I am shocked that Scorpion even made it to the end of season 1, let alone got a season 2.
It was thrown left, right, and backwards. It's on Monday night, so it goes opposite of Monday Night Football, and it's all right. I guess they think it's a cheap enough show to throw up against Monday Night Football because they got to throw something up there.
It like preempted, I want to say like NCIS or something random that I was watching, and I didn't realize, I thought it was the beginning of whatever it was I was watching, and I'm like, this is unusually bad for this show. And then I'm like, oh, wait, this is Scorpion. What the oh God, turn it off.
My son and I were watching it last year, and it was his last year at home. So I don't know if I'll start the second season. I'll have to ask if he's going to watch it, because if he's not, that's one that is below the cut line for me.
Scorpion podcast.
If you're interested, email Steven@GonnaGeek.com.
Got to get it covered.
So also, we have a rebirth, a resurgence, not to be confused with the original Muppet Show. We have The Muppets on ABC premiering September 22nd. It's going to be a 13-episode season, and so you get Kermie, and you get his new girlfriend, who I forget her name. I want to say Molly, but she's another pig. Kermit
is she
and Miss
officially
Piggy.
his girlfriend, or is that the rumor?
No, they came out. They had an announcement.
Yeah. Did they have an announcement?
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that. Last I'd seen it was just a rumor.
Yeah, it was a rumor.
No.
People would think that were thinking that she would hit on him because he likes pigs, obviously.
I thought it had been announced.
Yeah,
I'm not certain.
I think it was. It's the new pig in his life. Absolutely. So that's going on September 22nd. And then a lot of people are interested in it. Also on September 22nd, but jumping networks from ABC to CBS, is Limitless. And this is a continuation of the film. And a lot of people are really psyched about this.
Yeah, even Bradley Cooper's coming in as a recurring guest role on that movie too.
Yeah, I believe he's executive producing it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was one that I've got marked down to record, because I think it has some potential. I think it also has a chance of going in a vicious circle, but
True.
it's still on my radar.
I could not find a bought number of episodes for that show. Not to say there aren't. I just couldn't find it at the time I put this list together. So it could be one that we'll give you 4, 6, 8 episodes, and we'll see where it's at mid-season. So we'll see.
Wait, well, before you continue with your list, I just realized you forgot about the big premiere. The big one, which is tonight, as we record this. It's Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
It's
saw a commercial.
Yeah, it's Late Show. Yeah. Sorry, I almost said Tonight Show, but yeah,
Wow.
I'm super excited. I messed up. I corrected myself.
I'm excited. I think it'll be interesting to see what he does that is out of character. I think that'll be interesting.
Well, he's no longer a character. I think is gonna be the really interesting thing. I'm very curious to see. I think he could be a very Letterman-like interviewer.
Well, if you had, like, he was on Whose Line a couple of times back in the day. There was another show that he made an appearance on before Colbert, and he's a funny guy. Funny guy.
Yeah. His commercials have been pretty cool, too. I just saw one again this morning, so yeah.
Plus, his first week of guests is really interesting. Like, one of them is Elon Musk, who's intriguing to me anyways. Mm-hmm. So I'm very curious to see how he
Tesla.
and Colbert work together.
Yeah.
SpaceX.
That's primarily why.
Yeah. But sorry, I interrupted your list. Continue, SB.
Oh, interrupt me as you want, because there's a lot of good shows. Now, this next one's going to get some responses from you all. I know it is. So on September 24th, NBC premieres their reboot miniseries, Heroes Reborn.
Well, it's not a reboot. It's a continuation.
Well, it's not the original show, right? So this is a separate show. It does have a lot of the same characters. It's got Hero in it. It's got HRG.
But it's set in the same continuity, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I never, ever saw the original.
Well, season 1 and half of season 2 was good, and then I got stuck for time after that and couldn't quit. It's bad. I was strangely addicted, even though it was like an abusive relationship, because I'd watch it and be like, I just feel like I got punched in the face by this show. And I would come back the next week.
You're obviously talking of Arrow with the...
we're going to get to that in a little bit, JS. But yes, Heroes Reborn. A lot of people have a lot to say about the original series. This is not. Hopefully, a lot of people are saying it's better, but NBC did not go ahead with a full 1 year. They went with a half year buy. So this is obviously just testing the waters, just seeing if it'll work. So
that's though becoming more and more common amongst the networks, though, right? Like they do that a lot, and you know, even some of the ones I can't remember. There was one last year that was. It seemed obvious that it was going to get good reaction early on, but they hadn't done a full season order yet, and it seems like it's what they do, which is fine.
Yeah. It's more the BBC model, which they have done phenomenally with that model. It's also the HBO model. And then not ABC, but AMC also did it with The Walking Dead. Don't forget, with the first season. That was only 6 episodes. So,
and Fear the Walking Dead too is only like 7 or 8, I think.
So before we move off Heroes Reborn real quick, the thing that has me intrigued is Zachary Levi. I was a big fan of his on Chuck, and I'm glad to see him back in a network show again.
His pants are very expensive, though. Very expensive.
Is he? Is he really?
I made a Levi's joke. That's what I made.
He was making a Levi's joke, but
I see. I thought I don't know.
It was weak.
So the next show that premieres, this is all chronological dates, by the way, is September 29th. It is a show that I podcast on the GonnaGeek Network. It's a podcast called Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. It is on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the general Marvel Universe. So it goes into its 3rd season. It does have a full buy of 22 episodes. And why are you shaking your head at me? Why, Steven? What's going on?
Plug City. How dare you plug? This show is not about any plugging at all. You just have to bring the plugs in here and soil the good name of the GonnaGeek podcast.
I'm informing our audience where they can find more information about these shows on your network, Steven. It's your network.
SP, when you give him that information, I have a show that you forgot that we should bring up that comes before that.
I have a show that I want to talk about too.
By the way, you can find Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. at GonnaGeekNetwork.com. There you go. Sorry, SP, I'm just busting your balls, that's all.
That's all right. There is a show that I did not put on here, by the way. But anyway, so The Flash starts its 2nd season the day after or actually, yeah, the week after. It's October 6th for a full, I think it's 23 episodes. And so this will be the second season of The Flash. It's on CW, and it's everybody's favorite comic book show at the moment. And it'll be awesome to see what they do after. I won't give any spoilers away, but last season ended on a big cliffhanger, basically, or a universe changer or whatever. So, and if you want to hear more about that, or the 1990s version of The Flash, you can go listen to Crimson Comet, also on the GonnaGeek Network. It is Haley, Will, and Lobster, and they do a great job talking about that.
All I'm going to say is I am curious about Wells. That's all I'm going to say. Very curious about that.
A lot of people are, because of Legends of Tomorrow. Obviously, he's in it, so we'll see what happens. And then Arrow starts the next night, October the 7th, into their 4th season. It is confirmed a 23 episode buy, so it's a full season again. And there's a lot of excitement about this. There's been a lot of great promos specifically for Arrow. So we will see what happens with that. And if you want to hear more about that, Chris, what do?
You ask JS. That's what you do. You ask JS all about it.
You go on Google.
You go to GonnaGeekNetwork.com and you click on the little button for Starling Tribune, and we'll tell you some stuff.
You go to Google and you click on news.
So Chris and I do a podcast on Arrow called Starling Tribune with Wing and Neil, and Jay when he can make it as well. So it is on Friday nights. We stream live 9 p.m. on the GonnaGeek.com/live network.
Yes. And I like I said at the beginning of the show, all of these shows are coming back, and we have so many podcasts. So this plug that we have been constantly doing for GonnaGeekNetwork.com, put it in your bookmarks. Look at it. We have so many great program theaters on the GonnaGeek Network.
It is a geek network. It's a geek network. Jesus, I can't say network today. Blah, blah.
It is the network. It is the GonnaGeek network.
It's the network. Don't screw with the network.
So I've got 3 more fall premieres here. Supergirl is a premiere season. It comes out October 26th. The premiere episode has leaked online, and if you want to go find it, you can. I don't have a known number of episodes. It's going to be on CBS, but since CBS and CW are owned by the same parent company, there's rumors that they're going to interact somehow. I don't know, but I do know that you have the same like showrunners involved and stuff like that. So Supergirl comes out October 26th. There may or may not be a podcast on the network in works on that, so stay tuned.
Was that a tease?
It was a tease. That was a tease.
That was like the
tease, y'all. Yeah.
The only tease that you've done better is the one you gave me last night.
No.
You like the feather tickle. I know that.
Yes, I do.
So another series that is coming to an ending is Haven on the Sci-Fi Network. The second half of the 5th and last season premieres on October 8th. And if you have not started watching the show, my advice is there's better stuff on TV. But if you have suffered through everything to a point, then this will hopefully bring you to a conclusion. So there you go. There's Haven. But Sci-Fi's gotten better. They've gotten 12 Monkeys. They've gotten Dark Matter, Killjoys, Defiance. We'll see if that gets picked up or not. So yeah.
Which coincidentally, 12 Monkeys, that is how many monkeys it takes to run Sci-Fi. So there you go.
That's how many monkeys it takes to run Fox.
Fair enough. And speaking of which, when does Gotham come back? No.
Do you see that on the list? No,
wow.
You don't.
You missed one I thought would be on that list, actually.
Yes, and it's the one I think I want to bring up. It's a comic book one, right?
No, it's a different one. You go ahead and take that one, JS.
Oh, yeah, Lucifer. Why has Lucifer not been called out? I watched the first episode. It was somewhere. I don't know where. And I have to say, it was quite fantastic. That is a show I am definitely going to be watching this season.
Okay, it's not on my list. I'll edit my list on the Facebook post, and I'll add that on. Chris,
it's amazing. It really is.
You also have another show?
So the one I'm surprised you didn't have premieres on September 21st on Fox. It's Minority Report, and it's the TV series that continues after the movie with a precog who is a cop.
It had a bad start, by the way. They changed one of the actors, or the main actor.
Oh, did they?
Like after the pilot or what?
After the pilot, they changed the main actor.
So have they reshot the pilot, or are we going to be?
Nope.
No, so we're going to see the pilot. We're going to then next episode see new actor.
Yeah, I think so. I might be wrong, but I'm fairly certain that's how it was.
Well, they've been promoting it on TV, so if they changed actors, I wouldn't think they'd be promoting the precog on the
something
commercials.
Happened. They changed something.
They might maybe they did a reshoot. They could have done a reshoot, or maybe they're just using footage for from episode 2 or something, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm super intrigued by it, but that's mostly because I really enjoyed the Minority Report movie, and I think it's an interesting trend we're starting to see now with the Limitless series being the sequel to the movie, and now the Minority Report sequel being the sequel to the, or series rather, being the sequel to the movie.
I really like this concept because a lot of times you finish watching a movie and you're like, oh, it's so good, and it leaves your mind running and like, what happens after? I'd like to see more. And then they're like, okay, you want to see more, so let's just make up some crap and call it a sequel. And then you end up with garbage. So this is great because you can take the same line, put new characters in it, and continue it on in a total different feel, and maybe even a slower pace because it is a TV show, so it's a slower burn, right? So I really like it, and I was thinking about Minority Report when I saw this. I remember it has been so long since I saw it. I believe the last time I watched it was on VHS. Like that's how long ago it was.
Oh my lord!
I didn't realize it was that old.
It was a really badly critically received movie. That's not a good phrase, but I'm saying it anyways. I don't care.
2002, Chris.
Yeah, those were the rough.
I enjoyed it.
It's Steven Spielberg and his sci-fi reattempts. It was rough. It was rough times.
I never really had much of a problem with it myself.
My favorite TV show actually came out of a movie. It was Stargate SG1. So, people can.
Alien Nation was pretty good too.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
So I got one more show on my list before I get to a list of mid-season premieres.
Please say The Bachelor. Please say The Bachelor. Please say The Bachelor.
I intentionally left that one off too, but I know my wife and my daughter are going to be watching it. So
and Steven.
I will not. Yeah, Steven. And Steven's mom.
Chris, will you accept my rose?
Oh, you better deliver it in person.
Sorry,
on a silver platter.
Yes, it has to be on a silver platter, not knockoffs.
So season 6, a 16-episode season 6 of The Walking Dead premieres October 11th. Fear the Walking Dead is going on right now. I don't know how much of a gap there's going to be in between Fear and The Walking Dead, but they're completely different time frames. I mean, Fear the Walking Dead is right at the beginning of the start of the plague or whatever you want to call it. The Walking Dead is 3-4 years down the road now, so you've got that going on. And then one that I didn't have on the list that Chris Campbell commented on the Facebook post. He said The Librarian season 2 starts November 1st, and that's got Noel Wiley in it and a bunch of other great actors. So not John Lithgow. Who's the Night Court guy? Can't remember his name. John something.
I don't know. Just good for Noah Wiley getting a new gig with Falling Skies ending.
I know. Hey, did you see that? Did you watch it all the way through?
I am a season behind.
Okay. So I watched it all the way through. I have seen the final episode. I'm glad they gave him the final season to put a bow on that sucker and give it a Star Wars A New Hope ending. So it was awesome. Okay, so some shows that will be coming up in the mid-season premiere area are The Two Broke Girls, which a lot of people actually like for whatever reason. The 100.
Yeah, I got 2 reasons. Kat Dennings.
I was gonna say.
Exactly. So, Two Broke Girls, The 100 on the CW network, The Biggest Loser, which is inspirational to a lot of people, DC's Legend of Tomorrow, Marvel's Agent Carter, Person of Interest. They will have its final season. It'll be 13 episodes, and The X-Files. So, lots of good stuff coming up as well.
By the way,
X-Files has me intrigued.
Yeah, I was going to say X-Files.
Yes, X-Files.
It's a shame. We had a bit of an interview that we had conducted with Gillian Anderson. No, it was a panel, and we recorded it and called it an interview. But the audio didn't turn out. She put a couple clues into that thing that sure makes me excited for X-Files. I have to say, there was a couple teases.
I believe it was at the Dallas Comic-Con. So if you want to, I think she asked for no video to be taken on that. I can't remember, but if you can get a hold of audio or video from that panel, it is fun to watch. We actually had two people from the network in the panel that recorded. They're both recordings. I won't say failed, but it's just not listenable quality for a podcast. So we have elected not to throw it out there.
It's not of the GonnaGeek standard.
The Steven Snobbery standard.
Speaking of which, Chris, welcome to the AT 2005 world. I tip my hat to you.
I tip my hat to you, sir.
So Steven's right. I did get a new mic, and you can blame one Stargate Pioneer for that because he was posting it in the GonnaGeek Facebook group or whatever. That here's some mic sales going on. I went, ooh, maybe it's time to upgrade because I want to get a mixer eventually. And this has XLR, and my Yeti, as much as I enjoy it, does not. Plus, there's also the fact that it is damn cold in my basement in the winter. And when I turn on the space heater, the Yeti, I can't dial it down enough to not pick it up.
Yeah.
This is my favorite mic. I don't use it as a daily driver, but it is my favorite mic. This is the one that Chris is using right now. It is a XLR and USB, and you can get sound off for both of them, which makes it an excellent travel mic. And both Steven and I really enjoy the sound out of it. So I really think that if you're going to get a microphone, the ATR 2100 and the AT 2005 are great places to start.
So let me say this, though. The Blue Yeti is not a bad mic. You just have to be in the proper setup to be able to use it. It is a very sensitive condenser mic, and I can get away with it about 2/3 to 3/4 of the time throughout the year. It's not future-proof enough for me right now because, like I said, I want to have the XLR inputs on a mixer to be able to plug into it. And I can't do that because this is only USB, and I wasn't paying $250 for the Yeti Pro.
Well, you could buy just an XLR device that you can just plug your mic in. Like you don't have to have a mixer. You can get one. The same thing I got. It's just not a mixer.
Well, that's true. Yes, there's things like the Icicle and things like that where you can take an XLR and downstep at the USB to plug it in.
I do not. My AT 2005 is buried over in the closet over there, but I do have the ATR 2100 in front of me here, and this is the little brother of the AT 2005. And they are very similar internal components, so keep your eyes on the sale. Couple minor differences. One, the AT 2005, in my opinion, looks a little better. It has a better on-off switch and smells a little better too, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to know how you know that.
If you would own an ATR 2100, Chris, you would know what I'm talking about. You just go on Amazon and see the reviews on the ATR 2100. For sound, it is virtually identical.
Yeah.
But
I take the AT. Sorry, I shouldn't have interrupted you. I apologize.
There are some slight differences. That's all.
And I take the ATR 2100 with me on the road because it is just as comparable to the AT 2005. So there you go. There you go. But that's going to go ahead and bring us towards the end of the news. I did have something that I wanted to rant about, but I'll save that for another week. We do have...
No, you got to rant, man. This is the time. You don't want to give people too much time with that trash.
No, we don't have time for it because it's going to be a long-winded rant. But keep your ears on the show next week, and I will be sure to rant next week. So let's go ahead and move into the next segment, shall we, SP?
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm here with Michael Ruddy of Hero Complex Props. For those of you not familiar, we talked about Michael before because of his 3D masterpieces that he's done. Michael, I'm on your Facebook page and taking a look at some of this stuff. You have done some amazing work.
Thank you, sir.
How did you start doing this? Were you a fan of the media all your life?
I've been doing this for a while, on and off, just for extra money. And I stopped a few years ago when they had, you know of Peppercora?
Peppercore, what's that?
It's kind of like a papercraft type of thing where
Okay.
what people were doing were they were taking 3D models of like video games and stuff like that, and you can convert it into like basically like an origami piece. So if you want to make a whole suit, let's say you even want to make a helmet, you're probably printing out like 100 pages of designs or schematics, and you cut them all out, and they're all numbered, and they match like a puzzle. So all the little pieces become a big piece. So that was how a lot of props that you see now got started. And you would take the paper and you would resin it and fiberglass and, from paper, a hard object. But that was very, very tricky in the beginning because you have to resize a thing exactly to your body. So a lot of times it didn't work. So you used to see people with oversized parts or undersized. It was really funky back then.
Okay.
So I went through a period where I made multiple suits and they were all the wrong size for me. So I kind of gave up and started just working with foam because foam was a lot easier to manage as far as, you're cutting it out, you're making the design. So
I've tried to cut foam before. That is almost impossible.
You could use a sawzall or a hot knife or just a really sharp blade. But even with the blades, after maybe 20, 30 minutes, your blade's already dull. Like I can't even believe it sometimes. I'm like, a foam mat did this to my blade.
Wow.
So I started it just for fun and then for extra money, basically. But I've always been into the comic books, and it's a great time to be alive, to be a comic book fan right now, because, you get to watch now all your heroes from back in the day actually on the big screen.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Right. So you have cosplayed several times before, right?
The funny thing is I've never cosplayed before.
Oh, see, I thought when you were making your suit for Comic-Con this past year that was something that you had done before.
No, I've always made the items. Like, this is going back on and off, like maybe, I want to say 8 years, maybe even more. That I've always made little pieces for people on and off, my friends, even, just for free, for fun, because they know I can do it. But I've never done it myself. And I've always said the reason why I don't do it is because if I do it, I want people to stop me. And take pictures with me.
Right.
I want to make sure it's the best or one of the best in there. Because sometimes when I see people's cosplay, and it's all fun, it's not competition, but the way my eyes work, I was like, okay, that's wrong. That needs to be changed. And I don't want people to look at me that same way.
Oh, well, the stuff out there now today that people cosplay as, whether it's printed articles or whether it's actual clothing or whatever, it's amazing. I saw a combination when I went to Comic-Con of I forget the term. It's either Femme Vader or Lady Vader. I think it's Lady Vader is the term. And so that was a combination of hardware and clothes and stuff. Or
lack of clothes, huh?
Well, no, she was fully clothed.
Oh, really?
It wasn't a skimpy outfit. Yeah, no, she could have been in the film had Darth Vader been a woman. And it was just amazing to see. But I've seen full up cosplay, like Snow White, Cinderella, which is
that's great.
No hardware at all, maybe a tiara, but it's all clothes. So
yeah.
And of course, you're working on an Atom suit right now, right?
Yeah, I'm about 20% into it.
Yeah,
but I keep having issues. I work my printers like 24/7 sometimes. So once in a while, they want to take a break, and they just stop working for whether they need to be greased, or there's a clog in the nozzle, or I just want to give it a time to rest. One of those reasons I stopped them. So right now I was having issues with one, and it's kind of slowing me up, which is frustrating, but everything's going good. I have basically the whole front, the chest done, the arms. I really can't wait to get out there with it. For my first cosplay, I'm trying to make it the best that I possibly can. And I want to be a hashtag, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, you already are, because you did that wonderful Ultron mask.
Oh yeah. Thank you. The Ultron happened to come at the right time because the movie was coming out and they wanted to write an article about me. So I was like, all right, let's do everything all in one shot. And they took off. The only frustrating thing is when you see it on a blog or on a website and they don't mention you, or they don't mention a link or where it's from, and that picture has like 70,000 likes. It's like, what a missed opportunity.
I know.
Some people
got to put a watermark on those pictures from now on.
Yeah, I know. That's what I started doing.
Yeah.
But the Atom is coming out pretty nice. Once I have a good amount done, I'm going to start posting like progress pics. But I just don't want to take a picture of like his ab section and say, what is this? I want people to know.
Well, I absolutely adore. The reason why we started talking to each other was because you did that Fury's Toolbox.
Oh, yeah.
And I just love that thing. I light it up for every single podcast. I still do. It's great.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to make. Sometimes it's not even about what the item is when you're trying to sell cosplay or sell props. It's you have to get there the fastest and the quickest. And I don't know if you noticed that right after that I kind of threw it out there, there was a bunch of, I don't want to say copycats, but there's a bunch of people doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that when I saw it in one of the first episodes, I was like, you know what, I have to design this because I know this is going to be cool.
Now, do you do all the design work yourself or do you farm it out?
In the beginning, I did a lot of it myself, but ever since I got popular through all the links of some of my work, I've had people that want to work with me where people say, oh, can I work with you? Like, can you say the model was designed by me, but you can print it and finish it and stuff like that. And I have no problem helping anybody because they're helping me. So I spent a lot of my time now, a little bit less on the designing, but more working and trying to make connections and marketing and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I have maybe 3 or 4 guys that I kind of rotate around where I said, listen, like my Atom suit, which was done by Dutch Props. I collaborated with them for this. He sent me his first renditions of the model, and then I was like, okay, change this, change that, and then he'll fix it and send it back. And we'll go back and forth like that sometimes for, as long as it takes. Could take a day, could take an hour. So I like to still say I do have a hand in the designing because I'm kind of acting like an art director. But most of the time, these guys are great, man. There's so many talented people on Facebook, and none of them would it's so hard for them to get a job now and doing this type of work because a lot of the studios, when they hire people, if you're doing your job good, you're there for life,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of let some of that design work go, and I'm more worried about the printing and painting and sanding and stuff like that.
Well, what you were describing before with the printers jamming up, that just sounds like my office at work. Just with a regular printer, it's like, dang, it jammed again. Got to fix it. Got to put new toner in or whatever.
It's funny because all my printers are in my dining room. I don't know if you ever seen a picture of the stuff that I posted of my kind of workstation, but I totally took over the room. Every morning when me and my wife both get up for work, she just looks at the room and then looks at me and shakes her head and walks away.
How do you keep your kids away from that?
Well, I have my one son, the youngest is only 3 months, so I'm not gonna worry about him. And my oldest son, he looks at it, he thinks it's cool, and then he has the iPad. So their faces are glued to the iPad all day.
That's true, they are.
Yeah.
So how big of an article can you print on these things?
So I can go up to 16 by 16 inches and 18 inches high, which is some of the biggest 3D printers right now. That's kind of like a rare thing to even find a printer that does that for an affordable price.
Right. We just read a few articles about them sending 3D printers up to the International Space Station so they can actually make parts up there now, and they're testing it out, and of course in zero gravity, and what are the detriments of printing in 3D, because basically from what I remember when I had stuff 3D printed, it starts at the base and it works on up, and gravity kind of holds it all together, right?
Well, as the plastic comes out melted, it has a fan blowing on it, and it's only maybe in that liquid form for less than a second. So the second it's melting it's drying at the same time. So I guess it would also depend on how big their project is and stuff like that. Maybe gravity is definitely going to be a factor.
Yeah.
But that's really the future, I think, in a lot of spaces. I really believe in maybe the next 10 years, everybody will have a little 3D printer in their house.
Yeah.
For whatever items. Even to go as far as past that, instead of standing online for an iPhone, you can kind of print your own.
Yeah, make your own.
You still buy the phone from them, which is giving you plans for a one-time print of the phone.
Kind of an early Star Trek replicator.
Something like that, exactly. What's really cool is that people have scaled this technology and they're using it for cars now, 3D printed cars. And even bigger than that, they're 3D printing houses.
Wow.
Where they're not using plastic, but the way they modified original 3D printing designs is it's spitting out a cement type of composite mixture that's probably proprietary to them. But basically, instead of rows and rows of plastic, it's going rows and rows of cement. And it's really wild to see, just in a few hours, you could just build a little house, which will be really, if you think about it, for disaster sites or even the military, how much easier would that be? You need people with shelter for something happen, instead of having all these people in a tent where I'm sure it can get cold or, it's overcrowding. Just print print the barracks, you know? All you need is a day or two.
Right. And we've seen so many natural disasters lately. I think today, as we're talking here, I think it was the 10-year anniversary of Katrina, and that was
oh, wow.
a mess. And then, of course, you had the East Coast that was pummeled. And I think it was yesterday or today that the mayor of LA said, yeah, we're actually need to prepare for the big one because not preparing for it is foolish. It is going to happen. We don't know when it's going to happen, but it is going to happen. So, you know, now that you mention that, that could be a key thing. So if people want to find your designs or talk to you about cosplaying or 3D printing, where can they find you?
They can go to Facebook and search for Hero Complex Props, or they can find me on Instagram at ThatNerdMike, and be contacting me either way.
Sounds great. And that you are Michael Ruddy, right?
That's true. Yeah, they can find me. That's my personal page, Michael Ruddy, Ruddy, and I'm from New York. I don't think I'm the only one here.
All right. Sounds great.
Awesome. Thank you.
Catch you later.
Okay, so this week in the Geek Back, we are answering the question that we posed 2 weeks ago, which was, do you think hashtag Marvel would realistically give a lead role to someone who also is in a high-risk sport such as UFC? Hashtag GonnaGeek. That's right. It's not hashtag, it's hashtag GonnaGeek. And we have only received one response, which is the one that we had 2 weeks ago, which was Anthony Bachman. Anthony Bachman said, for one movie on a fourth tier character, hell yes. And then see if the box office returns day they should push forward. It's also an athlete in a dangerous sport that is so much better than her competition that she has never really been hurt in a fight. And she has movie experience. So the reason I wanted to pose this was because I've seen a variety of reactions about Ronda Rousey possibly being cast as Captain Marvel. And to me, my mind immediately went to the fact of, does Marvel want to take a risk? Every time that they ever create a new movie, they have a plan for a series of spin-offs of said character or characters. So something like this, do they want to take a chance that their main actress for this new character that they're introducing, which comes with a variety of support from, let's just say, a certain geek audience, which has been yelling at DC for a long time, do they want to take a risk and cast an actress that is in a high-risk sport like UFC? Yes, I understand she is dominating the sport right now. Right now being the key words. Chris, what is your thoughts on this?
Oh, they should absolutely do it. I mean, she's arguably the biggest name in sports now. And
not should. Do you think that they would actually do this?
Yes, because she's a huge name right now. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy the character of Captain Marvel and Carol Danvers, but it's a tough sell for people that haven't read the comics. And if you're like, hey, we've got Ronda Rousey, who is probably one of the most dangerous unarmed combatants in the world right now, playing that role, it's instant credibility for being an ass kicker, which is what Carol Danvers is. Number two reason that they should do it is Ronda Rousey, huge nerd.
True.
She wants to do it. She talks about Pokemon all the time and stuff like that. This would be awesome. I mean, and seriously, it's name cred that you can cash in on right now. And like Anthony had said there, she hasn't really been hurt before. She beats the ever-living crap out of her opponents quick. I think it's risky, yes, because she's an MMA.
She might not, she doesn't know. Maybe she's a really bad actress, though. That's the big problem.
She's not having a ton of lead roles.
Someone to carry a movie like that, you can't put a nobody in a movie like that.
So that's the caution. Yeah, you'll have what happened with Gina Carano when she did a movie where they completely redubbed her voice because it didn't work on screen. So she was there and physically doing the role, and her voice was replaced, which was kind of funny. But Ronda Rousey, you're right, she hasn't had a lot of acting experience. She got to basically kick a lot of ass in the last Fast and the Furious movie, but there weren't a lot of speaking roles. So I think you would have to do some screen tests before you determine whether it's a good fit. But if it were a good fit, they should do it.
She got offered a porn job. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I'm sure she has.
Yeah.
Anytime a woman does something awesome in sports or anything in general, the porn people come in and be like, "Hey, we'll give you a lot of money if you're naked and show your hooters."
Yeah, $5 million, I think.
Yeah, she doesn't need five. She makes $5 million in like 13 seconds in the octagon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. SP, I'm really curious about what your thoughts are on this.
I'm approaching it from the business aspect, whereas if she does get hurt during the filming, and if she's actively doing, like Stephen Amell, he recently did a little bout as well. That must have been really risky, because if he did indeed get hurt, that does take a look at The Big Bang Theory, right? Where what's her name? The girl Penny, she broke her leg, and they had to do all sorts of things to cover that up for the remainder of the season. You're talking a major motion picture that is Marvel, and they're gunning for 250 million to $1 billion, trying to get money out of that, right?
They would completely force her to not fight anymore. The completion bond company would say, she's too dangerous to insure. We're not guaranteeing the completion of this movie if she fights.
And if you follow the same model they did with Gina Carano when she started crossing over, she wasn't fighting when she was on set.
Yeah.
She took time off to do it.
And she wouldn't care, because, I mean, the transition job becoming an actress is just...
I'm going to be honest. I thought of this the same way that SP just did, and that's why I asked the question. But I also send your hate mail to Steven@GonnaGeek.com. I don't think she could hold the role.
No, she can't, for sure. No way.
So there's that, but it's not just one movie with Marvel, right? It's you're signing a character to umpteen appearances, whatever it's going to be. So you're not just jeopardizing one movie, you're going to jeopardize multiple movies for both of the physical and the acting capability. So you really got to make sure that you're hitting somebody that can, or casting somebody that can really bring home both, that can do the longevity as well as bring a performance. So.
And you don't think at this point here they don't have a board that says, maybe it says something like, insert this character into this movie 10 years down the road, right? Or whatever it is, right? Like, they have at least some game plan to integrate that character elsewhere in the universe too, because that's Marvel, right? You can guarantee that's the plan.
We've just seen that recently with Mark Ruffalo with Civil War. He says, I'm not in Civil War because they don't want to burn an appearance. Nick Fury's the same way with Samuel L. Jackson. He's not in Civil War because they didn't want to burn an appearance. Sometimes it comes down to that. So if they don't want to use him with Civil War, that means they want to use him down the road. And that means that you're using a character for sometimes 10 years. I mean, look at Iron Man, right? When did that come out? 2008? It's 2015 now. Next year will be the 9th year that you will have had a Iron Man character on screen. And that's a long time to have one role.
True. And I know that I'm going to get all sorts of hate mail for this question and for my comments, but go ahead and send it.
Well, and let's be honest, though. Do we really think, other than the fact that she's a big name, Ronda Rousey is really in the running for the Captain Marvel role? It's the popular thing to say right now because she said she wanted to do it, and that's awesome. But do we really, really think Marvel's like, oh, we need to lock her up on this?
Well, it's like Haley Atwell, who's mentioned she wanted to be the Doctor on Doctor Who. Well, yeah, everybody loves it, but is it really going to happen? I don't know.
True. Well, listener, if you have a comment on this, we would love to hear what you have to say. You can find us at GonnaGeek on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/GonnaGeek. You can call us at 567-343-GEEK. That's 567-343-4335. Or when all else fails, go to GonnaGeek.com, look up the Stargate Pioneer profile, and find his address and send him a flaming bag of dog poop.
Virtually.
Oh. Damn.
But that's taking us to the end of episode 111. Before we do wrap up, though, do any of you have any further plugs? Let's start with JS.
Nope, I got nothing.
Chris Farrell, for real Farrell?
Nah, I'll let you guys stick to the plugs.
Stargate Pioneer?
Well, Chris and I and a couple of other guys have been trying out this new technology, Blab, which is a great interactive device. So just stay tuned to our Twitter accounts, and you will see some future Blab events come on, and maybe just the GonnaGeek.com/live page, because I found a way to at least embed the watch the Blab here, and then we'll take you to the Blab page. We can't actually put it on the Blab. So if you guys want to interact with us, we're trying out the Blab stuff. So, just stay tuned. And I don't have anything scheduled to tell you right now. It's usually either right before or a couple days before. So just stay tuned. We'll get them out.
For sure. And we've done lots of plugging on here. So the only other thing that I'm going to plug is just one more time. Say, I love your mic, Chris. I just think it looks good on your frame. I love the shock mount, the position, and everything you have on it. So seriously, I like it. It looks nice. So kudos to you.
I kind of miss the Yeti a little bit, but I'll get used to it. You're just used to what you've run with for a while. That's all.
I have no continuity with microphones. You know that. But that's going to go ahead and finalize episode 111 of the GonnaGeek.com podcast. And by the way, listener, I missed you last week. Thank you for coming back again this week. For episode 111, I am Stephen John Drew.
I'm the Green Arrow.
I'm a Yeti.
I am the French Canadian sensation.
I thought that was really going to be a song. I really did. Bye!
I was hoping.
From everyone here at the GonnaGeek.com podcast, thanks for listening. If you like what you heard, please give us a 5-star review on iTunes. We encourage you to send your feedback by email to podcast@GonnaGeek.com. You can find all of our show history at GonnaGeek.com/official podcast. And while you're there, why not head over and check out all of the geeky podcasts on the GonnaGeek network? The music heard on this show is by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. Thanks for listening, and we will see you again next week.